I've come to the centre of the town in Hampshire of Havant. My first visit here, despite the fact that I'm a Hampshire boy. But really what I'm doing is I've come to Angel Radio, which is one of the brand leaders, if I can put it that way, in community broadcasting in the UK. Now, the guy who founded this is going to get this, which is a Community Media Champions Award from the Community Media Association, of which I am the chair at the moment. So I've come down here to give him his award. Now, he knows he's going to get the award, but he doesn't know what it looks like. So come with me, we'll go in and meet him. Wow, this is definitely a radio station. And here he is, it's Tony. Hello.
Hi,
Tony.
Dom. Nice to see you.
Let's go down into the inner sanctum of music. Look at all this. This is fantastic.
This is the record library.
This is a reminder, really, of my love of vinyl and all that stuff.
And it's coming back.
It is coming back. Tony Smith, who founded Angel Radio, this is your Community Media Champion Award.
Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, let's have a quick think about Angel. You know, I know, but I'd love you to tell us, who are you targeting and what's your kind of approach to community radio?
Well, originally, when we did our first short-term licence in 1999, we were just targeting the over 60s with old music and bringing back some memories. But 24 years later, it's grown so much. Our main target audience is still the over 60s, but they're now listening with their grandchildren. This morning I got a text from a schoolgirl who wanted a record played for her nan. And we seem to now be covering a much wider age range of audience.
Is one of the reasons for that, I'm just wondering here, that younger people under 60, actually appreciate the kind of music from the 50s, the 60s and so forth?
Yeah, and very often the first time they hear some of the old records is on films. And they'll say, oh, I've just heard so-and-so on a film. Have you got that record? And of course, you know, we've got it. We've got over 200,000 old records.
Well, some of which are here. And you were telling me that community radio, as we know in licensed form, came around about 2003. But before that, there was a number of organisations which was called the Access Pilots, which were really to prove to the government that this was a great thing to support, which the government of the day really did. And under Tessa Jowell, who was the minister at that time, the Community Media Association were heavily involved in not only the lobbying but also shaping the legislation that created licensed community radio. You guys were on those Access Pilots.
Yes,
so
we were one of 14. We were the second station on the air in 2002, and the first station closed down before the end of the project. So Angel Radio is the longest running community station, and we got our licence in 2006.
one of the things I'm always interested in exploring is the kind of social value, the social work of a radio project like this. We know in society there are significant social challenges around loneliness, isolation. I'm sensing that Angel is part of solutions, particularly for those in the upper end of the age scale.
Yeah, my sort of theme for the station is accentuate the positive. So we don't have a news on the hour because it's negative, and it would be difficult to keep bringing people up when they've been taken down by tales of war and what have you. And we make the station feel like a family. People get to know other people. We do these little badges that people can wear so that they can recognise other Angel listeners, and we try and get them out and about and socialising. The whole station is, to some people it would sound unprofessional, but the idea is to sound normal. Friendly.
Normal in the sort of radio terms.
Normal in terms of conversation.
Okay.
Rather than, hey, this is the next record, it's going to be...
Rather than sort of pop DJ zany style,
yeah,
this is about the world that we know, going to the pub or the park or whatever.
That's right, yes. We talk to the listeners in the same way that they would have a conversation with their friends.
And what about the loyalty of your listeners?
Unbelievable.
Do they engage with what you're doing?
Yeah. We do a thing about 4 times a year called Pay to Play, which is a way for the listeners to donate by requesting a record. So it's called Pay to Play because they phone up, request a record, make a donation. We did it a month ago, from 8 in the morning until 11 at night. Over 400 phone calls, over £4,000 in that one day. And that's on top of listeners doing standing orders for us, just sending donations. I think the fact that listeners are so supportive of the station proves to me we must be doing something right.
The other thing that proves that is actually in the commercial land, there's a number of organisations that have very much targeting these demographics. But it's just an amazing job you've done so far, both as an individual and the radio station. What are your hopes for the future for Angel?
I don't generally think about the future. I think about now. It would be good to just expand our coverage of the UK so that more people can listen.
There's an
to
opportunity there, isn't there, with the small-scale DAB, which is growing across the country.
And we've also just been given permission to have a second FM transmitter to cover an area where the present FM fades out. It's just to reach more
of the same
people.
And grow it. Listen, Tony, a pleasure being here today. Pleasure seeing you again.
We haven't seen each other for, 10 years?
Something like that, yes. You had darker hair and I had more. That's the way it goes. Have you got a pride of place to put that, do you think?
Yes, this will go. We're building a new studio next door to this building, and that will go on the shelf in there on display,
right,
for all to see.
Excellent. Great to see you.
Thank you.
This is Angel Community Radio, and I'm Jeannie. Hello, everyone. It's time once again to give you a little insight into the life of another very well-known personality whose music is familiar to us all. This is my spotlight on the Bobby Soxers' favourite, Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra.